Yeah. Doc, were you wondering what you might get out of Avery tonight because he sprained his ankle the other night?
Oh, I didn't know. I mean, usually when he can play, he plays. So I didn't think about it, honestly. You guys say they can play, listen, once they're on the floor, free game, and he was terrific.
Yeah, his development this year. I mean,
yeah, it's great. I mean, obviously, you can tell he's far more comfortable at that position, and unfortunately for him, in a lot of ways, we've had to play him a lot at the other position. But I think it gives him confidence. One of the things I've said consistently all year is he can shoot the ball. And, he was making me a liar for most of the year, and it was great to see him go in. I thought there was a point he was clearly confidence because, you see him in practice, he makes them, then he gets in the game, he just needed one to fall, and that's the other thing we kept saying. So that was good. But more importantly, I think his development with his cutting, that's something he hadn't done and never has done, and he's become great at it, And I think guys who like to score, when they realize if they cut, they can get baskets, they start doing it more and more, and he's doing a great job. The other part with him and Rondo is defensively on the floor. I mean, that was sensational. Rondo and Pietrus had that too, so it's a good defensive unit if we can get enough offense, and we did that.
Talk about the confidence that when he's cutting and he's knocking down jumpers, that breathes in the guys around him.
Oh, it breathes a lot. I mean, the jumpers are more because they've already been hitting them on the cuts. Even in that, if you remember when he first started cutting, he was missing, he was bobbling the ball and all that, and we harassed him about his hands because he told us he was a football player, and we told him clearly, offensive lineman or a DB. But now he's proven that he can catch, which is good, and finish. But the jump shots really give up the guys confidence, and it spaces the floor.
So are you denying that you've been holding him back?
Yeah, I've been holding him back. I hold everybody back.
Why is you feel like Rajon's passing up shots?
Yeah. How long have you been here, Mark?
No, but I mean, it seems like he goes through.
Is this something new?
It seems like he goes through spurts, and this is one of those.
And do you have a quote you want to finish your statement?
Well, he's wearing a pack on his back.
Yeah, no, it's nothing to do with health. It's just Rondo.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Well, when we win, I feel good about it. When I brought him in the fourth, I said, Rondo, go to score. Some of it is he likes, he enjoys getting guys involved, but, we had the breaks where, that stretch, he should have gotten to the basket, and we did, and they all turned into turnovers. So, but if I was a teammate, I would love it, because you're going to get the ball.
Going back to Avery Bradley, you knew he could do something like what he did in the first quarter all along.
Yeah, all along. I knew that all along. I knew the defensive part, and I've always believed he could make shots. And playing with Rondo is better for him. You could see him. He could just run out. He didn't have to wait for the ball. He didn't have to call a play. He didn't have to think where everybody was at. He just ran. Today he was an athlete, and that's what he is. He's a great athlete. And when you play him with a point guard, that it gives him the opportunity to be that. With the injuries this year and the guys, it's been difficult to use that combination.
Do you think there's a chance that as he gets more instinctive in his game, that he might be able to do a little bit of the shooting part when he's at the point?
Yeah, I do. I think it's going to take some time. It's funny, right when we went to point, we came out with a play, and you could just see all of a sudden it was back to, because he's trying to run the play. And but I do, you get better at it as you get on with it. And, for me, when he's at point, I just want him to make shots. I don't even care about the decision-making part, because that would free him up a little bit, too.
Doc, traditional.
He's been great. He was terrific tonight. He's taking a beating, He's clearly the guy that gets all the fouls. It just seems like he gets picked on physically everywhere around it. His body is taking a beating, and he just keeps playing. Very happy for him. He's a great kid.
Doc, traditionally, a game like tonight is one you've always worried about off a road trip.
Yeah.
Did you feel like maybe in the third quarter that was sort of catching up?
Well, we told him we're not at home. We're on the road still. I did. That's what I told him. I said, we'll come home for one day. Play tomorrow. We're still on the road as far as the road trip ends, after the next game, the way we look at it. But, yeah, I was more concerned, obviously, coming home. But then when we got to leave, I was concerned about how we approached that. Overall, we were pretty good.
What do you mean? I mean,
What's going through your mind when you watch that first, I don't know what it was, 15 minutes when Avery Bradley had more points than the whole Wizards team, and they're just awful. I mean, what are you thinking then in terms of, geez, can this continue, or how do we make it continue?
You're hoping.
Yeah.
You know, the good thing is, Peter, when someone else scores but you scores, you always like that. I'm more concerned as a coach when my scores are the only one scoring, and then you take one of them and two of them out, and all of a sudden you go on a drought. I've always liked, if you can start out a game and the others score, scores are going to score. That's who they are. You know what I'm saying? So
Paul didn't have a single point.
Paul didn't have a point, and
Yeah.
then you could see when Paul came back in, it was perfect. It was almost a perfect story.